You know, years ago when I was in college, I got a job at a deli, a world-class deli, this incredible, incredible place in Columbus, Ohio called Katzinger's Delicatessen. And maybe you've heard of Katzinger's. Maybe if we're friends from back then, you remember Katzinger's. But Katzinger's was just an amazing place. It was a traditional New York style Jewish delicatessen in Columbus, Ohio. And there's something about Katzinger's and working there that I just fell in love with instantly. And I don't know if it just reminded me of my Zaidi Papa, my grandfather, or if it was just that it reminded me of the attitude and energy around so many of my family gatherings when I was growing up, or if it was just the passion that they had for food. I've always been a bit of a foodie, and so I loved working at the deli. I started in the takeout area, just grabbing bags of food from the line and ringing people out and bussing tables, keeping them clean. But the place had this incredible energy, and they had locals, they had regulars that would come in every day. Franklin would come in and get the same thing every day. Sam would come in and get the same thing every day. And there was original artwork all over the walls promoting all sorts of different beautiful, amazing imported food. Hams from Italy and Spain, and olives from all over the world, olive oils, cheeses. And something about the place just was infectious to me. I was infected by the energy and the passion that everyone at Katzinger's had for that business. And I think because I displayed so much energy, and because I displayed so much of that passion, and because I clearly liked working there so much, I quickly moved up, and I ended up in a department called retail. They had a department that was, they had a catering department. They had a carry-out / lunch sandwich department where they made Reubens and all the sort of traditional Jewish deli lunch stuff. They made, whitefish salad, and they had bagels. They made all their homemade breads. They had brisket. And then they had retail, which was where they sold all the really cool imported stuff. And I got promoted to working in retail, and I loved that even more. When I got promoted, they gave me a book this thick just about cheese. And they were like, here you go, man. We carry 500 cheeses. You better learn them. And I did. I learned more about cheese than anyone I knew. And I really enjoyed working there. But it dawned on me one day that despite all the literature that I had read when I started working there, despite all the standards manuals they had about behavior and about energy and attitude, despite how much they talked about all their culture, the owners of Katzinger's were unhappy. They were stressed out constantly, and they worked constantly, and they didn't appear to me to get along. The married couple that owned Katzinger's, Steve and Diane, and if you know them, please pass along the fact that I'm not really talking bad about them. I remember my time at Katzinger's really fondly, and I have nothing but love for them, but they appeared to me to be unhappy. And it was amazing to me that they had built this entire business around happiness and around doing what you love and around culture, Jewish tradition, and they were unhappy. And I think they were unhappy because they'd seen another sister deli in Ann Arbor called Zingerman's, and Zingerman's had grown exponentially, and they ended up opening a bakery where they baked all their breads. They had a food delivery service. They had a shop just for cheeses. They did all these events. They had a wine shop, right? If you look up Zingerman's on the web, it is astounding what they've done with their business. And I think Steve and Diane maybe saw that and wanted to grow their business in a similar fashion. And so they had this enormous catering department every morning, box lunches for all the law firms in town. And people would have to come in at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. To start baking bread off and start making sandwiches. And they had catering trucks that would go out and deliver 500, 1,000, 2,000 box lunches. And then they had a massive lunch rush, and they were constantly trying to sell more stuff. And I think they lost sight of why they were doing it in the first place. And the reason I tell you this story is because I don't know if that resonates with you. I don't know if your business maybe just is a circumstance of your environment. Maybe it grew accidentally. Maybe it became something you didn't intend it to be. Or maybe just somewhere along the way, you lost the passion. And I know that that's happened to me. That's happened to me as recently as last year, where I sat down and really thought, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? And I realized I was just completely out of sync with my goals, and I wasn't acting from a place of passion, and I just felt really unaligned. And so while I was able to build a nice life for our family, we live in a nice house, and I was working out a lot, going to lunch with all my buddies whenever I wanted, watching a lot of soccer, I felt like technically moment to moment I was really happy, but I certainly wasn't growing. I wasn't growing my business. I wasn't growing as a human on this planet, and I wasn't really impacting people in the way that I wanted. I felt that there was something missing, and it was that passion piece. So something to think about on this fine Monday evening. Wednesday, we will be hosting the Elevating You training, and I'm really excited about it. I think we'll do 11 a.m. Eastern Wednesday. 11 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday is when we'll do this training. I would love to see you there, and I hope you have a great night.